Governor Lee's Executive Order Number 16 and subsequent orders and the need to limit the community spread of COVID-19. The January 8th, 2021 Gallatin Economic Development Agency Board meeting is being held by electronic means to protect the public health, safety, and welfare of the board and citizens of Gallatin. A video of the meeting will be posted online at thegallatingetsit.com within 48 hours of adjournment of this meeting.
And then you need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. So if I could get a motion to hold this meeting electronically, please.
I'll make a motion to hold this meeting electronically.
Thank
I'll
you.
second.
Thank you. Do a roll call then. Richie Harville
I approve.
and Tim Hurdle.
Approved.
And Dwayne Scott and Tom Neal are not present currently.
Jeannie, would you also
we have a
vote
quorum.
too, please? Would you also vote too, please?
Absolutely, yes, and I approve that as well. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let me put the agenda on the screen. All right. Can everyone see the agenda?
Mhm. So the next item is the approval of the minutes from the December 11th meeting.
I've got those I can share with you and scroll through, but you just let me know what you need me to do with them.
And I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Yes, you're trying to get into the meeting. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm sorry, what was the motion in the second? Who was that?
Tim Hurdle made the motion, Richie Harville seconded.
Okay, and then you'll need a roll call vote.
Okay. Richie Harville,
Approve.
Tim Hurdle,
Approve.
and I approve as well, Rosemary.
Okay, and I just let Dwayne Scott into the meeting.
Morning, Dwayne.
Good morning.
Dwayne.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, so now we'll look at the financials, Rosemary.
Okay. Basically, the summary just shows where we are year to date with salaries and benefits and operations. And if you'll remember, our 2021 budget is 10% or so less than our 2020 budget.
Hey, Rosemary, I think you need to share it.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Welcome.
Too many buttons to push. I apologize.
Okay.
Okay. So, but we're on track with our operations budget. And then the reserve committed account has not changed yet from the time that you saw it in December. There will be some discussion later in the agenda. Sorry, not that one. There's the operations budget. I don't know if you can really see that much on your screen, but we emailed these out to everyone. And then our partial reserve committed account. But really, very little has changed since our meeting in December. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
There are no questions. I'll accept a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Dwayne Scott,
Approve.
Richie Harville,
Approve.
and Tim Hurdle,
Approve.
and I approve as well. Thank you.
All right, and let me go back to the screen so you can see what our next item is on the agenda. And it is the site development grant. James, do you want to kick this one off or do you want me
Sure.
to?
Sure. So, you know, we'd applied and we would appropriate funds for us to put a detention facility out there in the industrial park. And the first time around, the bids came in $100,000+ over. It was way out of whack. So we had them go back and kind of look and redesign what we were trying to accomplish out there and put those back out to bid. They opened them up on the 30th of December. And we did get a much better response to those. In fact, we just got the bid tabulations back yesterday. But it will require, and if you'd put up on the screen for us, please.
It should be up. Can you see it now?
And if you look down there, the budget, the original budget was at $192,000. And the match and the city match that came out of it, and you folks have appropriated the $96,310 already. Now, the new bid came back at $169,644.77, which means we're shy $31,727 to put that out. I'm asking this body, if you would, to approve an additional $31,727.77 out of the reserve committed account so that we can go ahead and get this detention facility under construction.
James, what was the original bid, low bid?
The original low bid was, what was it? It was 200 and something.
Dwayne, I don't remember exactly what the number was when the first time we opened the bids, but in the first round, the low bid was $140,000 over what the engineer's estimate had been. So we would have had to put in another $140,000.
Right.
And after the redesign and the rebid, the low bid is this $170,000.
Okay.
The 31 out of the 194 is what you're asking for.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, the grant will not do 50-50 on the overage. It's all on us.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
Hey, James, can you just recap the purpose of this? Is it to service probably the back corner of Facebook and Axum and the power facility and all that?
Yeah, it kind of encompasses all that. It'll also allow Mike Dowell to put up another 100,000 square feet that he's planning to out there and also capture that for him also.
And our reserve account has how much in it?
Let me go back.
194.
194. Okay. I'll move to use the reserve account for the 31,727 overage.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. So for a roll call, Dwayne Scott,
Approve.
Richie Harville,
Approve.
and Tim Hurdle,
Approve.
and I approve as well. Thank you.
All right. You are, oh,
And
Tom
new
is
business.
in the waiting room. I probably
Okay.
missed him. Hold on, let me let him in. So sorry. It's a challenge to do everything at once. So let me stop sharing to make sure we have Tom in the room. He's connecting.
Mhm.
You can either wait or keep going. It's really up to you.
Okay.
I didn't know it would take.
Want to
any-
move into new business, prospering through the pandemic. Jasmine?
Jasmine, you're
Unmute.
muted. Yeah.
I swore to myself that I was going to break that habit for everyone in 2021, and I've already broken my New Year's resolution. So our newest video series is called Prospering During a Pandemic. And just to be transparent, when I first thought about interviewing companies to hear about how well their business did in 2020, I was a little bit nervous because I didn't want to be insensitive to anybody that had, had a different experience. But it's been received really well so far. The first video that we've done is of Gap. Jeff and I went out and we interviewed a handful of companies about how they prospered during the pandemic. We have Gap, Clay Curtis Construction, Brad Jolly with the Greenlee Commons development, Goodall Homes, and then Rosemary's actually gonna spearhead the next one for me, and it's gonna be about Subaru. So she works really closely with Subaru, and since they're outside of the scope of our existing industries that I work with, I've asked her to do that. So, but we've been posting them on our social media, and we've had a really good response. We kicked off this series with an interview with James and the mayor. I did include links to both videos for you. I'll try to share it, Rosemary, for them to watch, but I think the last time is that there's not audio when you're trying to share a video
Okay.
on Zoom. I think that was the issue. So I'll try. Let me just try really quick, and then if y'all can't hear it, you just
Try the one with the gap and see if that one will.
shout at me. If you,
The Gap ended up having 3,200 employees. They hired over 1,000 people to get
Wow.
for the year. Just incredible.
okay, let's see if you can hear it.
Nope.
Nope.
Can't hear it?
No.
Barely, unless you can raise the volume.
No.
Okay.
So that's fine. I sent you links to both of them. They're on our YouTube channel. So if y'all want to click on those links after the meeting and check them out. But like James said, Gap had to hire a lot of folks just because of the uptick in business, and you'll learn more in the video about it. But so yeah, we'll be posting those throughout the next couple of weeks. And these video series take up a lot of time, but they're really good for the community. They're great for our relationships that we have, and so I've enjoyed doing it.
Tell them a little bit about what's going on with the wage and benefit survey video you did also.
Yeah, so every year MTIDA puts on a wage and benefit survey, and if y'all recall, the one from 2019, we had more industries participated in it than any other city or county in the state. And so we actually received our own Sumner County specific report. And so since we were such good partners with MTIDA, we met with Kendrick, and he was just asked for our advice on how they could promote it. And so Jeff and I produced a video where we interviewed Beretta and Gap about how the wage and benefit survey was really beneficial to them, and as they were raising their wages this past year. And so Kendrick actually included that in his email to all businesses across Middle Tennessee and economic development agencies and chambers. And so that's really made a big splash across Middle Tennessee. So we're happy to do it. And actually another community saw it, and I had a meeting with them yesterday because they said, we love this idea. I'd love to pick your brain on how we can implement it in our community. And so that was our hope, was that us doing that video, to be honest, we know our industries are going to participate. We did that video for the purpose to encourage other communities to hop on board, to engage their industries, because it's been a really big pain point for MTIDA every year, is getting economic development agencies to engage their industries to participate. Because not everybody has an existing industries manager. So anyways, it's been really good. And I'll send out the link to that video too, if y'all want to check it out. Did I miss anything, James?
Oh, that was good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
If I may, one of the things that we have made a greater effort to do is Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and be current on all three of those platforms. And most of you know, Instagram has a different vibe from Facebook, which has a different vibe from LinkedIn. So you have to put those hats on each time and post something different on each of those platforms, at least present it a little differently on each of those platforms. So Jasmine, if she hasn't already, we have our own YouTube channel, and if each of you would go and like it and subscribe to it, that would be great. We have a lot of content there, and just a lot of good stuff there.
And especially, I'll add to that, LinkedIn would be helpful because each of y'all are connected to people that we are not connected to that are businesses. So that will really help us. If there's any platform that's the most helpful for you to share and like, it's LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's the one where we need to grow our presence the most.
Yeah.
All
All right.
Okay, good.
Next on the list there, Rosemary.
All righty, back to the agenda.
All right, corporate options. Continuing the same conversation we've been having, we're looking at, again, trying to find places that we can have to sell property. We've talked about getting property for quite some time. We had a good conversation yesterday with Jeff Hite from the Nashville Chamber, who heads up their recruitment efforts. And I've been working and talking with landowners here in the area. One of the things, instead of us purchasing, because again, we're going for office, back office, corporate, those kind of things, and those are a much longer play than an industrial park, industrial land is going to be. And so I've been hesitant to actually ask to purchase some of this property. What I've done though is go ahead and speak with some of these property owners, and they'll allow us to put an option to purchase, which really would have the same kind of effect when we're talking to a client, to a prospect. They just need to know that they can get that property, that they don't have to jump through a lot of hoops. So we're kind of doing some negotiating right now, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you what pieces of property that we're looking at. Oh, hang on here. Let me get it up first. Oh, I didn't push the button, did I? Share. There we go. My favorite toy. Everybody see? Good. So, the pieces of property that we're looking at for corporate, we've spoken about this before. We've got this waterfront site here.
James, all we see is the big globe. We don't, with the outline of North America and South America.
Oh, you didn't zoom in with me?
No.
Well,
There, now we can see one of the sites, yeah, or two of them.
this it? Okay, not sure what happened there, but so, and we've talked about this one right here. We have a 3D animation, a video already of a building that TVA did for us, put there. I just got a text last night. I call it LA Green because this is his property. He's out of the country or out of the area until February, so I won't be able to tie anything down. But we're looking at those two sites. I've also spoken with the owner of this big piece of property here. McCain Station is under construction right now. This is 386 and Big Station. He's going to allow us to put an option to purchase on that really inexpensively. again, just so it allows us to go ahead and talk to folks. And then this piece of property right here is already zoned industrial. And in the conversation yesterday, we really determined that like the IC company that moved here out of California that ended up in Rutherford County, they've got their corporate headquarters, but they've also got some manufacturing and distribution. And so this might be a good spot for something like that also as we go out and start recruiting again. So, so that's kind of our thought process at this point in time. Additionally, on the Bowles farm over here, this is in front of planning. And they've set aside 90 acres or so right here as a planned business park. I'm not sure how that will work as far as having an option on it or whatever. I think it's going to get some pushback at the city council level. So I'm just kind of being patient with that one. But for right now, that's kind of what we're looking at. And again, we're going to be moving, putting options on it. As soon as I come up with a figure, we'll come back to this body and see if we can get some funds appropriated so that we can put this land under control.
Hey, James,
Yes, sir.
When you say the Bowles Farm, the planned business park, are you saying that's something that would, if that's approved, how would we look at approaching that from a business park? That's what it's zoned as for.
So as part of the land use plan, comprehensive land use plan that we're going through at this point in time in the city, you know, we're trying to put into that document that this will be a planned business park and development over there. As far as us getting this under control, really my conversations to date with the landowners and the developers and the brokers has been for us to have the ability to purchase some of this property below market and for a prospect which would allow me to bring the state in to help put in water and sewer across that road and help the developer of the whole project that way. So and again, we haven't really, Dwayne, come up with exactly what that's going to look like. They don't have an idea yet what it's going to cost them to do all this.
Okay.
We're still in the planning stages.
Dwayne, when this planned business area was envisioned to get the money for the road from the state, one of the concepts that was mentioned is the Metro Center, where you have some offices, but you have like construction showrooms where you pick out your flooring and your cabinetry, or you might have some very light, non-invasive manufacturing, or big print shops who do signs and things like that. So,
Okay.
but it does envision right now the way the zoning ordinance is, you could have very light industrial, like along the lines of an Axum or a Beretta or
Okay.
something like that.
All right. There we go. So is it my turn?
It's still your turn.
Yes.
All right. As I was putting this together, I was like, I don't have a project that's working right now. It felt kind of weird, but I've been trying to figure out why we've been so busy still. So as opposed to tracking down these prospects out there, it's interesting. We've had some calls and folks come in. I just got another email. We've got a broker out of Mount Juliet and Nashville, both they've got clients that want to build in the area. Unfortunately, they're storage facilities. I don't know what that conversation is going to be like. I got an email yesterday from Hagenese. They're looking to invest $12 to $13 million and hire another 25 people. So we're going to start that conversation today, see what we can come up to help them with that. As we've spoken about the downtown area, we have had two different groups come in and look, and I know at least one of those groups has already engaged a broker and quite possibly could have taken down some of the land here in the downtown area for redevelopment. So that's really exciting because we've been working on that for a while, and that was, that's the BHAG for the year. So it's good to see that that's moving forward. Had a chance.
Which property was that, James?
I'm sorry?
Where is that located in the downtown area? So if you can be specific.
He's
Okay.
being closed-lipped
Okay.
about it. It's just,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is fine. And then the other group too, you know, they'd love to get the courthouse and redevelop that. They just are drooling over that building and some other things in the downtown area. So I think we're going to make some good progress on that this year. So I'm excited for that.
James, when does the new courthouse start? Any real?
They have, it's really, I was talking to the mayor about that yesterday. They really haven't talked to us about what their plans are. They did buy the one building down there from the church, and they have been kind of dismantling that one slowly but surely. But the funds are all appropriated, Dwayne, and they should be pulling the trigger. They just have not communicated with the city at this point in time. The folks out of Covenant Plastics have developed, you may have seen it on Channel 4 News, they've got this this booth that traps anyone that has a gun coming into and out of a building. And they called me in the other day to help maybe take this thing to market and help get that up and running. So that's kind of fun. I haven't had a chance to work with a small business like that. I think they've got a great product. It's called the Phantom Booth, and I'll see if we can send around a link to the WSMV video that they did. But that's kind of fun. So been working on that one also. Of course, Facebook continues. There's calls. There's stuff that we're working on. The road out there. Rosemary's been heading that up for us out there. So we've got the folks that are putting in the water line, and we got folks putting in the road, and we've got folks working on Facebook, and sometimes they're stepping on each other's toes and doing some things. So we've had to do some work to kind of keep them all on the straight and narrow. And then it's been interesting, the retail and food that's been knocking on the door and trying to come into the area. We've been working with a gentleman that wants to put a Culver's in. Here we tried a couple of different sites. They may or may not have found another site, but they're still really excited about coming here. We've got an Andy's Frozen Custard that has found a site that they're going ahead and working on. And then GBT Realty took over. If you remember, across the street from Buffalo Wild Wings, for a while we were working with a group out of Alabama, I think it was Alabama, that was going to buy those 3 houses there and put in. We had, 3 or 4 food options there. Well, another company has come in and kind of taken that over, and we've been working with them. That most likely is going to be where What's the Hammer Whataburger is going to go in there, and then they've got some other.
That's
things.
not been officially announced. That's still as speculation.
Right.
So
Dang.
still, is First Watch still on the radar there?
I don't think so, unfortunately. I don't know for sure, though. We just had to work through a bunch. The signage was a big difficulty and was holding that project back. So we had to work with planning on that to make sure that everybody could have the signage that they wanted to do. And then lastly, as I mentioned, we had Jeff Height from the Nashville Chamber come up and talk through some things. We're putting together a small, maybe 90-second video that we're going to put on a card and send out along with the Facebook video. And so we kind of just brought him in to, from the point of view of that chamber that spends a lot of time working with corporate and those kind of things, just to give his input on it, and also get input on our new book that we're putting together. And I was telling folks this morning, I was kind of disappointed in that conversation, because when he got here, he says, "No, it's good, you're good." So I was like, gosh, give us something. But we realized that we're actually doing a pretty good job at what we're trying to accomplish. So in the end, it was a good conversation. We learned a lot of stuff, but it was it's kind of fun to have that reassurance from other folks that we're heading in the right direction. So we're appreciative of that. And that's it. That's kind of what I'm working on.
James, do you want to give them a preview of what is on the Planning Commission agenda Monday night?
Oh, okay.
Because that'll be out of the bag once they post the agenda today.
Yes. So, yes, thank you. So Monday night at the Planning Commission, the ICE project, the 2 sheets of ice predators will be in front of the Planning Commission. At that point in time, the predator's name is not going to be attached to it. But there will be an announcement within the next 2 weeks with the Predators that we've struck a deal for them to manage the facility, and that whole development will start moving forward. So that was my BHAG for last year, if you remember. It's finally coming to fruition.
Exciting.
It's taken a while, but yeah, we're right now, we're just kind of waiting for the ink to dry on the agreement with the Predators. I think I might have mentioned it. That facility is being fully financed by private monies. There will be a TIF that will be asking the county and these 2 cities to contribute to, but none of these entities will have to take on any debt. It's simply using the county's IDB as a pass-through. And the developers will be on the hook if enough revenue isn't generated by that TIF to cover it. Now, one of the only sticking point that we're seeing in there is that there is a set of apartments, which is still causing everyone some consternation. But only 90 of those units are in Gallatin, and it's at the far end, and it's really, really needed just to get the density on there so that TIF will go ahead and cover the development. Let me go ahead and pull up a diagram of.
Yeah, because it's good. It's interesting to see that all the commercial and the retail and another big part of it are in the Gallatin city limits. So
Yeah.
tax benefits to us are better than.
So let me share my screen again. Okay. So there's a line, you can't see it very well, but right there, this is Gallatin, this is the county, and this over here is in Hendersonville. And this is the design of this. If you'll notice, the hotel and all the retail, and then 90 of the units are all in Gallatin. So all that sales tax is going to be coming into the city. Down below is the facility, and then clear at the bottom are a couple of additional recreational type buildings that are going up over there. And over here is the zoning is already in place over here in Hendersonville for a planned office space. So that's going to be that's going to be a kind of a long haul, just like we were talking, putting up offices of any kind here are a challenge. But this will be in front of the Planning Commission on Monday night.
Do you anticipate any pushback?
So I have sat down with, well, it's interesting. First, the mayor got a call from Jamie Clary, and he said, I'm against this. We don't want any apartments, can't have that. We finally got him to stop talking about this. I probably should, excuse me.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're not going live, and I doubt many people watch the recording. So
Nah.
I have sat down with all of our city council members, save one, and they've gone through and they understand how beneficial this is going to be for the county, not just Gallatin, but for the county. And so I think we've got sufficient support to get that through city council. Again, the apartments were the sore spot, but again, if you look in relationship to the rest of the city, this is way on the south end, and I don't envision that this is going to have a negative impact on anybody. All right?
Okay.
Super. Thank you, Rosemary, for bringing that up. And there we go.
Okay. Is there anything additional?
Tom Neal, it's good to see your name. Haven't seen you.
we can't hear
Doing well.
you, we can't see you, but we love you.
Right.
James, you were right. I yesterday went out again and looked at the Facebook construction, and that place is hopping out there to the point where I need to get out of there, get out of their way pretty fast. But it's pretty impressive nonetheless.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Oh man, if you haven't been out there, go out and take a look sometime.
And Archer's looking really good too.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That building
It's a
looks
pretty building, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really cool, just
Yeah.
different style, not just a standard tilt up, you know?
Yeah.
How far from completion is Archer? They're pretty close, I guess, aren't they?
They're ready.
Ready?
They're ready to put somebody in there. In fact, I forgot to mention that. Also putting together a conversation with Joel Phillips, president of AT&T, to see if they need to bring their facility out of the downtown Nashville area, to offer them co-location space at Archer data centers, or possibly if they want to build their own building, looking at that acreage next door to Archer, for them to go ahead and come out and bring their facilities out this way.
Yeah.
Don't know if there's even any legs to that conversation, but we're just going ahead and pursuing that in case that's something that they need to do.
I forgot one thing that I wanted to throw in, if that's okay with y'all.
Please.
Jasmine mentioned the Subaru, and I've been working with them through the Shalom Zone because I'm on that board. They did some things for us, but we were out there, the Shalom Zone folks were out there yesterday taking a picture, and the general manager said that they've had a great year, actually, and that they continue to beat the Nashville Subaru. And they have customers from as far away as Michigan.
Wow.
He said, I don't know what happened, but a group of people in Michigan decided they loved all of our previously owned vehicles. So they've been down here buying, just individuals, not a group, not a business, been down here buying our previously owned vehicles. So they have clients who consistently come from Knoxville to this dealership because of the service and the people. So just FYI, all these people that we might not think about coming to Gallatin to buy a Subaru or get it fixed.
That, I'm sure, is part of what's contributing to our sales tax revenue. Let me go ahead and real quick just share this. If you'll notice, other than, even last year, March, April, that was, right after the shutdown, all that kind of stuff there. But since then, May, we were $100,000 above the last year. June, $100,000, $117,000 in July, up 80,000 in August. I mean, we have just knocked it out of the park as far as sales tax collections are concerned. So, and I know that the Subaru dealership and most likely the Honda dealership, those two coming to town are playing a big role in what's happening here. But the city is very, very fiscally healthy at this point in time. All right. That's all I got,
Danielle?
folks. That's it.
Well, I appreciate everyone being on this morning. It's good to see everyone. Happy New Year. And with that, if I could get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Richie.
You
And a
want to
second.
go? There we go.
Go for
Okay.
it.
Is there a second? I'm sorry, I didn't hear one.
I'll second. Dwayne seconds.
Thank you. All right. Do we need a vote? Are we good?
You don't need a vote. You're good.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone.
You too.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you for all your work.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right.